find any underpants.
They're on your head.
These are yours. They were on my door by mistake.
Well, look in the laundry basket.
Lawrence said you were awake.
I was writing an opinion till 3 a.m.
Well, Lauren told me you were awake.
I took a personal day, so yes, naturally I got up early to do yoga and write my autobiography.
No need to be sarcastic. I just want to remind you about the Royal Conservancy Garden Tour. Hello. Jillian, good morning. Oh, no, I'm up and dressed, ready to face the day. I find it disquieting to lie in bed and vegetate.
I was up very late last night. No one's listening to me.
No, Jillian, I can't think of a reason not to have lunch. Perhaps Amy will join us. No, she's been up for hours doing yoga and writing her autobiography.
There's somebody at the door.
I'll get it. Be nice to the woman.
Hi. Hi, Jillian. Good morning. Yeah. Oh, I'd love to have lunch with you today, but I gotta meet Peter about the Royal Conservancy Garden Tour. Yeah. Just put it down, honey.
I can bring it.
The .com Cafe, Harvard Street, 2 p.m. Yes, I will tell Mom. Thank you, honey.
There's a police officer at the door. He's asking specifically for you.
Jillian, the police are at the door, so I gotta cut it short. Okay. Yeah.
Take a sip, Mom. I put in honey and cinnamon and some chocolate chips.
Well, it's delicious, honey. Hello, I'm Amy Gray. What can I do for you?
We found some stolen property.
Were we robbed?
What's that?
It's a very dirty bicycle. According to the serial number, it belongs to Amy Gray. This address.
It can't be the one that was stolen when you were 11.
No, that bike was beautiful.
I can take it away if you like.
It's horrible.
Okay, then.
Oh, wait a minute. It is my bicycle. You found my bike!
Vincent.
Swimming is not a sport. It's a stage of evolution.
Vincent!
What?
Where are the Cocoa Crunchies?
You hate Cocoa Crunchies.
Typical man. Eats all the Cocoa Crunchies. Then blames the victim.
What?
You turn on the heat, then you open the windows. You pee on the toilet seat, you never hang the bath mat.
You talking about the typical man? You talking about me? I do not pee on the toilet seat.
You say the pots need to soak. They don't. And you just leave them in the sink for me to wash. And quit reading sports to Ariadne. Sports are just channeled male aggression.
If there's something that we need to work out, then you sit down and we'll talk about it.
Don't use that tone with me.
What tone?
The she's hysterical, he's reasonable tone.
What is the matter with you?
Question is, what's the matter with you?
You hate Cocoa Crunchies!
Good morning, Your Honor. The people will show that 15-year-old Barry Gilmore, who goes by the name of Romeo, is guilty of manslaughter in the death of 17-year-old Juliette Bernard. In short, he seduced a lonely and impressionable girl into a mutual suicide pact, which turned out not to be mutual.
Mr. Erskine?
Juliette Bernard did commit suicide, Your Honor, but there is no way my client can be held legally responsible simply because he did not follow suit.
Ms. Ryan, what do you mean when you say Barry goes by the name of Romeo?
Well, as you can see, Judge Gray, Mr. Gilmore is a goth. Goth is an adolescent subculture characterized by an unhealthy fascination with vampires, the occult, dirge-like music, morbid romanticism, and death. Romeo is what the other goths call Mr. Gilmore.
And was Juliette a goth as well?
Oh, definitely, Your Honor.
Only after Barry Gilmore made her that way.
Mr. Gilmore, do you have anything to add before we begin?
Only that your system's corrupt, and it's meaningless, and you have no real power over me.
Please stand when you address the judge.
Why?
As a mark of respect.
Well, why should I respect her?
Because I have power over your life. You're an intelligent young man, and that's just a fact that you're gonna have to accept.
Well, you wouldn't understand anyway.
Well, unfortunately for both of us, it's my job to ask questions until I do understand.
What Juliette Bernard did, she did because she felt impelled by circumstance, because they tried to force us apart. What Juliette did is beautiful. Death is beautiful.
The little fella alone on the bench, that's Brent Sadler, right over there.
And your son is a friend of his? I'm really not sure it's necessary to bring in a social worker.
As a school teacher, I'm a mandated reporter. I'm required to report even a suspicion.
A suspicion of what, Mr. Lillo?
This last week, Brent's become really dirty. I mean, really dirty.
He smells. And then there's this burn.
It's just a small burn, but it was left untreated.
Yeah, and he never wants to do play dates with my Jason anymore.
Do you think that Brent is being neglected by his parents?
Yeah, maybe we're jumping the gun on this one.
No, it's good you called.
What are you gonna do?
Well, first I'll talk with Brent.
Partner up.
All right, it's that time of year again. Somebody has to accompany Mom on the Royal Conservancy garden tour.
I'm more interested in why you cried over a bicycle this morning.
Did Mom write me out?
You cried over a bicycle?
Remember that bike that got stolen when I was 11?
Is she the one with the snowflake banana seat? Ooh, pie and coffee all around.
Why did you cry?
I don't know. Look, we're off the subject of the bike, okay? Now, I went last year.
I took Mom last year. Remember, I got stung by a bee.
Hey, have you guys noticed anything odd about Donna lately? I don't want pie.
What do you mean lately?
Well, she's incredibly cranky. She's it's like building up steam. I feel like she's about to explode.
What, do something stupid like marry an axe murderer?
You got stung by a bee 2 years ago. I went last year.
Wait. What should I do about Donna?
Nothing. She's a loon.
She's not a loon.
And she's fallen in love with you, and she's angry at you for not reciprocating.
Donna's not in love with me.
Hey, you don't work insurance 18 years without learning a little bit about human nature. I think Vincent should go.
No.
On the garden tour with Mom.
No. When I was 16, I told Mom I was not interested in horticulture, and that has not changed.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors.
This is childish.
Garden tour. This is incredible pie.
What'd you have for breakfast this morning, Brent?
Ravioli.
Did your mother cook that for you?
I like it cold.
You smell pretty good.
I must have got my mother's perfume on me when we hugged.
Did you bring something for lunch today?
Ravioli.
May I see? Do you think maybe I could talk with your mother?
She gets very tired, and she hates it when people bother her. If you have a message for her, maybe you can give it to me.
Mrs. Sadler? Mrs. Sadler? Brent?
I completed my graduate degree in abnormal psychology at Brown University. I've testified as an expert witness on the subject of adolescent trauma and mental disease as demonstrated through artwork.
Your Honor. Yes, Ms. Ryan, your objection to this witness is duly noted. Now, please, let Dr. Miles continue.
An artist's state of mind and mental development are reflected in his or her work.
What does your analysis tell you in this case?
May I? Since Juliette Bernard and Barry Gilmore met in art class and indeed shared the same influences, I was able to examine quite a large range of their work. For example, in this piece, you can see indications of a deteriorating ego and disassociation from reality.
Your Honor, I can see no such thing.
Dr. Miles, can you please be more specific?
Fragmented, tortuous figures, chaotic composition, dark motifs, recurring, swirling images of confusion, anguish, and despair, a lack of focus and organization. In my opinion, this artist displays all the hallmarks of suicidal tendencies.
So Barry Gilmore was depressed?
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. This wasn't done by Barry Gilmore. This is Juliette Bernard's work.
Doctor, are you able to gauge with any degree of accuracy just how sexually experienced a young artist might be?
Well, in my opinion, this artist was sexually sophisticated.
And what about Barry Gilmore?
Well, conversely, this is the work of an optimistic and energetic artist.
Your Honor, there are monsters, and there's darkness all over his painting, too.
Yes, the subject matter is undoubtedly immature. But see here, there's a cohesive, heroic figure fighting back the darkness. Well, the artist wants to be nihilistic, but just can't pull it off. This is the work of an impressionable, intelligent, sensitive, sexually naive boy.
Your Honor,
Ms.
these
Ryan.
claims
No, I agree with her. This is complete bull. You can't tell a thing about me just by looking at some stupid paintings. What? Take them down. Take them down.
Barry.
Art.
Barry.
She's gonna tell me what my art means? Get off me. Get those out of here. Put them
Sorry,
down.
Your Honor.
Why did you just...
Can I have another half-calf soy cappuccino, extra hot, no foam?
Coming right up.
Jillian, I'm late. I hope you ate something without me.
Oh, no, just coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Something came up. Well, I'm not going to bore you with that. Who are you chatting with?
What? Oh, no, I'm here alone. There's no one else. I mean, as you can see, I'm alone.
I met on the internet, Jillian. Could I have just some normal coffee, with no soys or nons or...
Someone I met in the Brief Parents chat room.
Ah.
It's been very helpful hearing how other people deal with the pain of losing a child.
Have you considered perhaps joining a group with live people in it?
I was thinking of meeting one or two of the people in the chat room in person. Kind of desperate for someone to talk to. Keep the change.
Do you mind if I ask how bad things are between you and Peter? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure I can discuss this with you, Maxine. Somehow I feel that by criticizing Peter, I'm criticizing you.
Well, I assure you we are completely separate human beings.
You raised him. You made him.
I know what Peter's like. I know he has trouble with strong emotion, and I know that because he's just like his father. And it used to make me want to scream. But underneath, it's a very good heart.
This is the first real conversation I've had in weeks. Except for my friends in the chat room.
There was a time in my life when Edward was unavailable to me emotionally. And there was no internet, so I turned to someone else. in real life.
You had an affair?
Not the way you mean, but yes, I risked my marriage. And I risked it because I didn't give my Edward the chance to rise to the occasion. I believe now that he deserved that chance because, well, from someone who loved him as much as I did. The thing you have to ask yourself is it too late?
I'm not sure.
I meant for lunch.
So did I.
I had these plastic things that went here and here. They were neon colored, green and blue and yellow and orange. And then these ribbons, they were bright red with little gold flecks inside that came fluttering out of those handlebars there.
You must have clashed.
Yeah, well, you know, we didn't care much about clashing in the 70s. I rode this bike everywhere. I had thighs of steel from doubling your Uncle Vincent on the banana seat over there.
Was that safe?
No, it wasn't. I loved this bike. And then one day, Mom sent me to get a packet of cigarettes for her, and I came out of the store, and it was gone.
Grandma shouldn't have sent you to buy cigarettes.
Well, times have changed, honey. Anyway, I thought that when I was done cleaning it, I'd give it to you.
It's got a big scratch on it.
No, this is where my daddy inscribed it for me. When I'm done cleaning it, I'm gonna give it to you.
Then I hope you never finish cleaning it up.
Unseasonably cool weather on the Pacific coast, but it looks
Mrs.
like
Sadler!
Let's move now from the west coast and see what's happening back in this place. Right now there's a high pressure system moving in from Oklahoma and Texas, settling into the southeast part of the country that will bring with it temperatures in the mid-70s and 80s. This front will
Mrs. Sadler?
Gray. I'm a social worker in Hartford, Connecticut. It's imperative that I contact a Mr. George Jowett as soon as possible. Do you by any chance have a daughter-in-law named Marnie Sadler? I'm afraid I have some bad news. Marnie Sadler died approximately a week ago of insulin shock. Mr. Jowett, I'm glad you asked me that, because it's Brent I'm calling you about. Yes, he is.
Shrinking Violet?
Are you Dave?
Yeah. It's nice to finally meet you in person, Jillian.
Yes, you too.
Oh, that must be Ned.
Yes.
How cute.
Do you have a picture?
Oh, yes. This is Kelly.
Oh, she's very pretty.
Yes.
It's funny meeting like this because of our kids. Like they were playing at a playground and we sat on a bench and started talking about teachers and swimming lessons.
I wish those were the circumstances, Jillian.
Yes, I do too.
Here you go, folks. Enjoy.
You can pick us a seat.
I got two good ones over there. Pick a good spot to sit.
Perfect. Could be better.
I want this one.
Then that's the one we'll get. Miss?
Yes, ma'am.
Barry, did you turn Juliet into a goth?
Juliet always had a goth soul. I just showed her how to dye her hair black.
How did the issue of a suicide pact arise between you?
Mr. and Mrs. Bernard totally freaked out one night when Juliet didn't come home. When they found out she was with me, they decided we shouldn't be together anymore.
You were lovers?
We were everything to each other.
You felt separation was unbearable?
If we couldn't be together in life, we chose to be together in death. Only love overcomes the senselessness of existence.
Who first introduced the notion of suicide?
It just came up between us. It was natural.
But it was Juliet who came up with the plan, isn't that true?
Juliet knew a guy we could get some pills from. Nebutal, Seconal, Darvon. I don't know, I traded my stuff.
Juliet's idea was for you to overdose.
We got a motel room. We drank vodka to help the pills work better. We were gonna make love one more time.
Just to be clear, Mr. Gilmore, did Juliet have the pill?
Excuse me, Mr. Erskine. But you didn't.
Didn't what?
You said you were going to make love one more time. That suggests you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Maybe we didn't feel like it.
I find that odd. In all of your poetry and songs, you constantly refer to death as erotic.
So Juliet counted out the pills and you both took them with vodka, is that right?
Yeah. We were crying and we were a little drunk, so we just lay down on top of the bed. Like, it's kind of hazy. I don't really remember exactly.
And Juliet died?
First she threw up, but we knew that might happen, so she took more pills.
And did the drugs have the same effect on you?
Yes.
And did you take more pills?
You have to answer out loud.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I don't think it hurt her. I don't think it hurt her at all.
Barry, I need to know why you didn't take more pills.
Maybe I thought I'd taken enough to die.
But you didn't. You intended to go through with it when you went into that motel room.
Your Honor.
You shroud yourself in black. You paint your face white like a corpse. You wear skulls and crosses and tombstones.
Please,
Why
Judge.
didn't you keep your promise to die?
Because I was afraid. I was afraid to die. And all my talk about death, and all my poems, and all my songs are so completely two-faced. I'm a hypocrite just like everyone else.
To cut a deal.
I beg your pardon?
Barry Gilmore can plead to any number of more minor charges. Attempted suicide, possession of narcotics, underage drinking, hell, throwing truancy, I don't care. He pleads to any one of those, I find him guilty, and put that kid into counseling before the end of the day.
Well, obviously, I'd prefer you find him guilty of manslaughter in order counseling.
Yeah, Miss Ryan, I realize that you like to boost your felony conviction rate, but that confused boy in there did not cause the death of Juliet Bernard.
I resent your implication.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
Your Honor, if you're going to find Barry non-culpable in Juliet Bernard's death, why should I advise him to plead out?
To save his life, Mr. Erskine.
You are out of bounds, Judge Gray.
He didn't make love to her.
What has that got to do with it?
If he were a sexual sociopath, he would have had sex with her before she died. It is obvious to me that Juliet Bernard was a sexually sophisticated young woman. She was 2 years older. She knew where to get drugs. She was depressed. And we were all fooled by the makeup and the black clothing and the attitude into thinking that Barry Gilmore was the one who was death obsessed. Barry didn't want to die. He was afraid. He didn't chug vodka and nail his girlfriend and wave goodbye to the world. Once Juliet was gone, his resolve failed. And sometimes they try again.
Who tries what exactly, Judge Gray?
Suicide pacts that go wrong. If we find him culpable in her death, it will only increase his sense of guilt and shame. And I don't know about you, but I don't want any part of helping that boy to try suicide again.
Has it occurred to you there's a twist in psychology at work here?
Yes, it has.
What do you think it means that you're down here at 7 o'clock on a weeknight refurbishing a long-lost childhood toy?
What do you think it means that it's a weeknight and you're afraid to go home?
Donna's usually asleep by midnight.
You know, Vincent, if she were in love with you, it would explain why she seems to hate you all of a sudden.
Nope. Sorry, it's classic transference. Donna's mad at Oscar, she's taking it out on me. Remedial Psych 101.
Vincent, did you feel close to Dad?
Nobody's close with Dad.
Well, I was. He adored me. I was his favorite.
Well, just you then.
And Mom.
Amy, when a man has a workshop as extensive as this one, it isn't because he wants to while away the hours with his wife and kids.
Well, look, I don't remember him saying I love you once. I mean, he was affectionate. He kissed me goodnight, he hugged me, said he was proud of me and all that.
I think he remembered my name once. No, maybe I'm making that up.
He never said, I love you. But when he gave me this bike, he etched the word love into metal with his bare hands.
It must make you feel pretty good then. Him doing something so out of character.
That's me and you. On this day, we went on bumper cars. I had to get in with you because your feet couldn't touch the pedals.
You bought me caramel corn. And my daddy was there.
Well, I'm your father's father. Remember? You used to call me Papa J.
When can I see my mom?
Brett, we are going in there to talk, all right?
Hasn't anyone told the boy his mother is dead?
He knows, Mr. Jowett. He just needs to feel safe before he can admit it. He slept beside his mother for a week, dousing her body with perfume, waiting for her to wake up. Mr. Jowett, I need to know why you've had so little contact with your grandson.
My son and Marnie had a contentious divorce and a pretty bad custody battle. In my opinion, they both behaved shamefully. I tried to get Marnie to let me come into her life, but she blamed me for the man my son turned out to be. I understand that, but she was wrong. Sometimes it just isn't the parents' fault.
Give me a moment.
Can we go see my mom now?
Brent, your grandfather is very upset about your mother.
Why?
He just can't believe she's gone. You know, what I think is that he really cared about her. And, he wonders how anyone so young and beautiful could just die. You and your grandfather are the last two people left in your family. That's too much sadness for one person to handle all by himself. Do you think you could help him?
I'm just a kid.
You're all he has, and he is all you have.
Do you think my mom's with my dad? Do you think they're together?
Yes, I do, Brent.
Michael is Papa J. Who's gonna take care of you?
It's all right. See, I won't be alone. None of us has to be alone.
My daddy can skip a rock 10 times.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I'm the one who taught him that.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Donna. I'm very glad you're home. I got something for you.
So? I hate Cocoa Crunchies. Do you really think I can't take you down?
Here's what I think is happening. I think that you're upset because you want out of your marriage. You're misdirecting your anger onto me.
psychological at me.
Okay, the only other explanation is that you're in love with me. And if you're in love with me, then obviously we gotta talk.
Now, in case you haven't noticed, my tastes run to a beefier, more manly kind of fella. Oscar makes 3 of you. Oh my God, you haven't fallen in love with me, have you?
What? No. No. What? No, you're the one who's treating me like crap. Okay. I may be overstepping here, but I think that you should divorce him.
On what grounds?
He killed his mother.
He was a murderer when I fell in love with him. What's different now? Nothing's changed.
He lied to you. I mean, you believed that he was innocent, but he's not. He did it. Look, when a person kills another person, it leaves a mark.
Especially when he uses an axe the way Oscar did.
I know it was you.
Oh. Well, who else would it be doing laundry at this time of the night?
I mean, the bike. Love, Daddy.
Your father loved you very much.
Then why did you have to write it?
Oh, Amy. He listened to you describe what you wanted. He ordered it especially, and he put it together right here. Took him forever. Man was all thumbs. And by the time he was done, he thought the bicycle said it all.
He put it together himself.
Word of God. But you were always an emotionally needy child. You never could get enough of your father. So I helped the two of you out a little. Now, I'm sure you're going to say that I've thrown your entire relationship with your father into doubt.
You're a very good mother.
Hey, it's gonna be a divorce in the family.
Well, surely that's a little premature. We can't just give up.
Whoa. Wait, I'm talking about Donna and Oscar. Who are you talking about?
Donna and Oscar, of course.
So Donna's divorcing Oscar?
Yeah, huh?
Wow. Hey, help me take this bike upstairs. I married them. They were my first couple.
Listen, Donna doesn't really have enough money for a lawyer, so I'm gonna make you a deal. You help Donna find some pro bono legal advice, and I'll take Mom on that Conservancy Garden Royal torture thing.
That's all right. I'll do both.
Why?
I'd like to spend the day alone with Mom.
Why?
Hey, let's both go riding on my bike.
No, you're on your own.
Yeah, come on. I'll tell you.
Tease prime time in the daytime. There's nothing but drama when the detectives investigate a homicide. Solve the case with Law and Order.
It's the only one you own. You might use it if you feel better when you get home.
Steely Dan made danceable. What's next? You know what this song reminds me of?
Shopping for produce?
Come on. I'm in the middle of a touching memory here. It was the summer of '74. I bought a Chevy convertible that burned oil like the retreating Iraqi Republican Guards.
I love that in a car. An Impala.
Yes.
Well, what did you expect?
You like me.
You like me?
What?
You, like me.
Stop the music. Fellas, please. Would you stop? Please. Fellas. Play something nice. Are you free for lunch tomorrow?
I'm not free, but I am definitely in your price range.
My son Charles is going to be in town.
Please excuse my ill-timed gold digger joke.
I thought we could all have lunch.
Exactly which of the three of us would consider that a good time?
Maxine, I think that Charles hasn't apologized to you yet because he wants a chance to do it in person.
How long will he be in town?
Well, he's opening a new office for us here in Hartford. We're trying to consolidate.
So he'll be here for a while.
I think the phrase is the foreseeable future.
Well, it'll be so nice for you and Charles to have the chance to work closely here in Hartford for the foreseeable future.
Have anyone to be in mine.
Why don't you be in Sarah Jane's group, too?
Because Susan Oglesby is in that group and she hates me. I thought you were doing Genie in a Bottle with Kelly and Rita? They won't let me. Susan Oglesby told them not to.
Well, obviously, we need to have Susan Oglesby killed.
Life stinks.
Life does not stink, Lauren. Frankly, it's this so-called talent show that stinks.
I love the talent show.
Lauren, a talent show is when kids get up and exhibit talent. What your show has is a bunch of little cliques that get together and lip-sync Britney Spears songs.
But everybody's gonna be in it.
Well, fine, so be in it. But why don't you really do something? Look at a musical. Pick out a nice song and do a real number.
What's a musical?
Oh, like Oklahoma? Or The Wedding Singer?
What about The Sound of Music? You could do Do Re Mi or The Cuckoo Song.
All by myself?
Sure. Why not?
We can watch it together this afternoon and pick out a song for you to sing. Oh, and I can help you with your choreography, and we could figure out a costume.
Okay.
You're welcome, honey.
This is gonna be so much fun.
Mommy's always here to help.
According to Gunther, the victim died of a heart attack. It was after the victim's death that Gunther dismembered and disposed of the body. I should dial 911, but there's that new chainsaw in the basement. Vincent?
I can't believe this. Right outside the cafe in the middle of broad daylight.
What?
I have an idea for a novel.
Good.
Out of nowhere, like it dropped out of the sky.
Well, that's great.
Let's go.
Where?
Well, I need a legal pad.
Vincent, we haven't paid. You can't just stiff the waitress because you thought of a novel.
I'm sorry to be late. Thank you for coming in. I received notification from a mandated reporter that one of your foster children was injured.
We had to take Jimmy to the emergency room.
What happened?
Eric happened.
Eric? Well, he's generally a pretty good boy.
He attacked Jimmy.
We were gonna call you anyway.
The other kids are picking up on it. We're having discipline problems. They won't make up, Maxine.
Eric was the aggressor. If we can't put this to bed, he'll have to leave.
Eric's had some very bad luck with foster placements in the past.
Believe me, we know. It's taken us nearly 6 months to gain his trust. We like Eric. We'd hate to lose him.
Your Honor, the reason Julie Baker has not had any contact with her parents in the last 5 years is that she feels she has suffered enough of their abuse and that any further contact would jeopardize her emotional sobriety.
What kind of abuse, Mr. Spurrier?
Clyde Palmer was a violent drunk with a history of...
Mr. Palmer's a recovering alcoholic, Your Honor.
Miss Rose, it is the respondent's turn.
Clyde Palmer terrorized Julie Baker throughout her childhood. He was physically abusive, he was emotionally abusive, he was psychologically abusive.
Your Honor, we're not here to argue about Julie Baker's childhood.
The issue before the court is the Palmer's right to have a relationship with their grandchild.
In Troxel versus Grenville, Your Honor, the Supreme Court states that parents have the fundamental right.
Right, I've read that decision, Mr. Spurrier, and I'm sure you were also about to mention the 1996 Castagno case, which is the actual controlling case law in the state.
Exactly.
So, Ms. Rhodes, in light of those previous rulings, what are we doing here today?
Sadly, Mr. Palmer has recently been diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and his prognosis is bleak. All he wants is a chance to get to know his granddaughter while he still has time.
The petitioners have filed on behalf of both the grandparents, Your Honor, not just the terminally ill one. Therefore, they are seeking ongoing visitation rights. And besides, death is not guaranteed to anyone.
You must know something I don't, Mr. Spurrier.
I mean predictable death, Your Honor.
Ah.
Mr. Palmer could go to Lourdes next week and be cured, and then this case is no different than Troxel versus Granville, which would render this way moot.
Well, despite its potential way mootness, I think the Palmers have a right to put on evidence that not visiting her terminally ill grandfather would seriously harm the child. So, despite those previous rulings, I am going to set this matter for hearing.
Your Honor, if I could bring your attention to this
Counsel, why don't you approach the bench? Mr. Spurrier, calm down.
This is all right. I thought it would take less time away from our house, honey. We skipped the swanky lunch.
Dad, I know about your coffee shop addictions. You don't have to make excuses.
Well, you're in for a real treat tomorrow night. We're dining at Maxine's house with her entire clan.
Oh, that sounds delightful. I'm looking forward to meeting them.
Yeah, and I've got some condos lined up for you to look at this afternoon.
Dad, would you calm down on the condos? I haven't even said maybe yet.
Oh, really? I was under the impression that this was definite.
And I wonder how you got under that impression.
Hello. Oh, what? Excuse me. Yeah, Gene, yeah, okay. Yeah, put him through. Yeah, Roy.
You know, Maxine, we haven't had a chance to talk yet.
Well, I know.
So I haven't had a chance to tell you that I really resent what you did.
What I did?
Our conversation was meant to be between you and me. Now, if you really care about my father as you claim, why would you want to hurt him by disclosing it?
No, to the office.
Charles, if you don't want me to hurt your father by telling him about the slimy, underhanded things you do behind his back, maybe the best approach would be to stop doing them.
Here you go.
So, can you describe the kinds of things that took place in your home on a regular basis in terms of your father's behavior?
He'd come home from work around 6 o'clock, and my mother would meet him at the door with a drink. I was supposed to leave him alone so he could unwind. Unwind meant have 3 or 4 more drinks. And a good night, he would just pass out on the sofa in front of the TV after dinner.
What if it wasn't a good night?
Yelling, screaming, cursing, throwing things. I would go and hide in my room. But often my mother would... I think she would tell him stories about how I'd misbehaved to get his anger off of her. And then he would come in my room and beat me.
With his hand or...
His belt. A switch from a tree, the fly swatter, a hairbrush, whatever was around.
Objection. Your Honor, Clyde Palmer could have been the Marquis de Sade 25 years ago. How is that relevant to current circumstances?
Your Honor, the through line is vital here.
Well, given the fragile state of Mr. Palmer's health, you're not going to have any luck convincing me that he's going to be chasing his granddaughter around the room trying to beat her with various objects.
Well, no, of course, but...
And according to Miss Rhodes, a much more recent and therefore pertinent part of the through line is Mr. Palmer's recovery from alcoholism, which I assume has had some effect on his alcoholic behavior.
Your Honor, recovery is just a word they're throwing around.
Are you telling me that you're afraid your daughter will be physically abused by your father?
Physically? No. I tried letting Claire spend some time with them about a year ago. And she came home in tears. She didn't know why. But I did. I grew up in that house. It's the way they talk to each other. It's who they are. The atmosphere in their house is poisonous. I barely survived it, and I don't want my daughter to be around it any more than I'd want her to play in a toxic dump.
You and Jimmy have always gotten along. What changed? 14 stitches. That's you really hurting. The Crofts are thinking about having you removed from the house.
They are?
If you can't explain your actions and make up with Jimmy, yes.
I've been in a lot of foster homes. But the Crofts are great. They're nice. The food's good. I think they like me.
Of course they like you. But they have to think about the welfare of the entire house.
He stole my t-shirt.
You fought over a t-shirt?
It was my Metallica t-shirt.
A t-shirt?
A Metallica t-shirt.
Finally got Ariana to sleep. Vincent! Could you grump a little quieter, please?
Sorry.
What are you working on?
The exclusive Baldwin Academy's controversial relocation to the top of Carter Drive. Fate of the free world rests on my choice of a lead. Hey! There's a reason those are crumpled.
I'm in a mood. Probably just being too hard on yourself. Rudy Lukatsky wanted a son. But more importantly, he needed a son.
That's something else.
What?
Perfect first line to a novel, I'll never write.
Vincent, if you have an idea for a novel, you have to write it. You have an obligation.
2.
God, the universe, countless book clubs worldwide, yourself. How long would it take you to write it?
I don't know. The year, at least. I thought about cashing in my dad's mutual fund.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You incur outrageous penalties and give Peter a chance to feel smug.
So, what do I do? Explain to the landlord that I'm an artist, I can't be bothered by pedestrian concerns like rent?
I'll pay the rent.
Don't be ridiculous.
No, really. You can pay me back in babysitting services.
No, I don't.
Oh, Vincent, this is perfect. Don't wreck it with stupid macho pride. Are you a man or an artist?
I was kind of going for both.
Just do this, Vincent. Do it for the three of us.
Have you seen any signs of violent behavior since your husband stopped drinking?
No. No, not at all. I mean, he's not the most happy person. He's not a happy-go-lucky person. That's not his nature. And I have a problem with nerves. I always have. To tell you the truth, Julie's never been a picnic either. She's always had a very negative disposition. She's self-centered, always finding fault. I haven't had a good life. By the time Clyde straightened himself out, Julie wasn't talking to us anymore. Well, I had a little bit of hope when Claire was born, and she brought her over to visit a few times. But then Julie took her away. The doctors told us that Clyde only had about 3 months to live. Now, what would it hurt if we spent some of that time with our granddaughter, just a few months of happiness out of an entire lifetime. Is that so much to ask?
Well, the guy was obviously a living hell, but now he's just a sick old man.
Does that make him a better person?
Excuse me, Mr. Onward Christian Soldiers. Aren't you supposed to believe in forgiveness?
I do. I just don't believe in cheap grace.
What?
You've never read Dietrich Bonhoeffer? I keep forgetting that I'm smarter and better educated than you.
Yeah, and the loftiness of your intellect is exceeded only by the depth of your humility.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a Lutheran theologian who was killed in a Nazi concentration camp. He wrote about the difference between cheap grace and costly grace.
And the difference is?
Cheap grace is what people are looking for when they want to skip the part where they have to repent.
Well, grandfather stopped drinking. Doesn't that count?
Depends on why he stopped drinking. Was it because he felt lousy about the way he treated his daughter?
Well, you Grays certainly have all the bases covered. The ladies are public servants, and Vincent's an artist, and Peter's a financial whiz.
Oh, I'm hardly that. I'm just an insurance salesman.
Don't put yourself down, Peter. He runs his own business.
It's a highly underrated profession, if you ask me.
Insurance salesmen are like dentists. Everybody hates them until they need one.
You restore people's lives. And actually, you all really do the same thing. You bring order to the chaos.
Not me. I feed off the chaos.
What's chaos?
It's your room after the brownies were here.
So Maxine says you're going to move here.
Yeah, possibly.
Probably.
And my father is trying to make me an offer that I can't refuse.
Are you married?
Well, no, but I've just never been able to find anybody who'd put up with me.
Well, you almost got married once.
Yes, well, she wised up at the last minute.
Then maybe you could date my mom.
Lauren, I have a lot of single friends.
Well, you folks are sure making the thought of moving here attractive. And Maxine, if this is any evidence of how you cook all the time, no wonder you can't get anybody to leave home.
Thank you, Charles.
This is nothing. You should see her dance.
I thought he was sort of nice.
Amy, there are a lot of nice sociopaths in the world. It may not be fair, but it's a fact of life.
You and Jared talked about this?
Oh, he thinks I don't understand, Charles. People are blind when it comes to their children. Except for me, of course. That's coming from downstairs.
Lauren? Lauren, are you okay?
Nothing ever could. So somewhere in my youth or child. What? I'm practicing.
This is the song you're going to do for the talent show?
Yeah. Do you like it?
Well, I guess, kind of.
It's a fine song. Let's go finish the dishes, Amy.
I just thought you were going to do something like Do Re Mi or the Yodel song.
I like this song.
She likes this song. Now let's go and let her finish practicing.
Yeah, but this song isn't. I mean, there's so many cute songs. Like, what about the Flipperty Gibbet song?
Grandma.
I'm trying, honey.
This is the song that everybody fast forwards through.
This is the song that Lauren has chosen, and she needs us to leave her alone so she can work on her act.
She's gonna make a fool of herself. A boring fool.
You're the one who wanted her to show her talent.
Well, I thought she might have some.
I must have done something good.
Hey.
Hey, sweetie. Where's the food?
What?
You were supposed to order.
Oops.
I only have half an hour. You working on your novel?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Great.
Trying to get a lot done before your staff meeting?
I don't have a staff meeting. I quit.
You quit?
Yeah, I'm a real writer again. I mean, I was always a real writer, but I was a hopelessly blocked real writer, just killing time as a reporter.
I thought you were making a living.
Yeah, that was secondary.
So, how are you going to do that now?
Babysitting. Donna and I worked out a deal. She's going to pay the rent in exchange for my taking care of Ariadne. It's a perfect arrangement for both of us.
So, Donna's going to be supporting you and you're going to be raising Ariadne?
I know it's a little unconventional.
No, it's actually a very conventional family. So I'm the mistress?
Yep. You're the mistress.
Okay, great. Just checking. Can I be the mistress now?
After this paragraph.
She says you argued over a t-shirt.
And that's what happened.
You and Eric have been good friends.
Yeah, well, that was before.
Before what? I have to resolve this, or one of you will have to leave the house.
Eric should be the one to leave.
Why? Exactly.
Because he's a fag.
You know better than to use that language, Jimmy. Did he proposition you?
You mean make a move? Of course not. He wouldn't dare.
Then why do you suddenly think he's homosexual?
I found his stroke magazines, okay? Looking for his Metallica t-shirt, I found them. They were full of naked guys. Nasty.
So you confronted him and he beat you up. There had to be more to it than that. You threatened to tell the Crofts, didn't you? Jimmy.
All I wanted was that stupid shirt. He never wears it anyhow.
If you had tried to blackmail me, I would have hit you too.
Hey.
Hey,
What are you doing?
picking out hair.
Hair?
Yeah, I want to change. Thinking Meg Ryan, you've got mail. That I'm too cool to even brush my hair look.
I like your hair the way it is.
Maybe Winona Ryder. She always looks so sophisticated and independent.
Do I get a vote on this?
I don't think so. You change your life without running it by me. I think I could change my hair.
You angry at me?
Angry? Oh, I don't think so. I just need to distance myself from you.
Why?
Because I don't trust my own judgment anymore. Your life seems weird to me. And then I think, is this weird? Really? Seems weird. But maybe I'm too conventional to have an artistic boyfriend. But I saw Henry and June. I know how you people are.
Okay, I'm not Henry, and I'm not you people. Look, I had an idea. I made a dinner reservation tonight for us at Christini's.
I can't tonight. I'm having dinner with my friend Jody.
Who's Jody?
Just someone I used to hang out with when I was single. I've lost too much of what my life used to be. I'm so wrapped up in your life, and your life is so possibly weird.
I really think you're overreacting.
Maybe. I don't know. I just need to figure it out for myself. I have to get back to work.
I am not a fag.
Please don't use that language.
I don't want to leave the Crofts.
You think that's what would happen if Jimmy told him you were homosexual?
Everybody hates fags, except for other fags.
You're 15, Eric. You don't know what you are yet. And what you say about gay people is not true. Not for everyone. Some things about who we are we can change, and some things we cannot. And decent people like the Crofts understand the difference.
I'm sorry I hit Jimmy. Things are going great at the Crofts. I got friends. I like the school. Why do they gotta know what Jimmy says?
You have a right to your privacy. But it would be better to live without keeping certain things a big secret. If the Crofts know what you're going through, they can help. You don't have to worry about what Jimmy says.
I was not a perfect father. I was a better father than I got credit for, I think, though.
Would you say you made most of your mistakes while under the influence of alcohol?
Absolutely.
How long ago did you stop drinking?
5 years and 72 days now. I don't need a bunch of strangers giving me a cake. I can read a calendar. And I don't need to keep beating myself up about the past. I got my daughter to do that for me.
You heard your daughter testify that there were problems when she tried to let you spend time with your granddaughter.
That's not true. We had no problems in our house. We had a good time with Claire. She had fun. She had fun with us.
Why do you think your daughter says there were problems?
Well, my theory, I think Claire would come home and say what fun she'd had, and that would make Julie mad. She'd start bad-mouthing me and tell all her hateful stories. And then Claire would get upset. Claire sees me as I am now. A mother won't let go of the past.
Mr. Palmer, is there anything you'd like to say to your daughter about the past?
Of course, plenty I'd like to say.
Well, this would be a good chance.
You ever think what my life was like all those years? Or can you ever think of anybody besides yourself?
Eric is, homosexual?
I'm not sure he knows what he is. But certainly he's struggling with impulses in himself he dislikes.
Gay impulses.
If he is gay, he'll need people he cares about to accept that in him, so he can accept it in himself.
This is a problem.
The most important thing is that you know what he's going through and can help. Oh, no. No, Alan, please. Irene, this is exactly what Eric feared. This is why he fought with Jimmy. Your rejection will destroy this kid. Please.
We're simply not prepared. If we'd had some warning...
What Eric needs are foster parents that understand his life choices.
Choices? Believe me, this is not Eric's choice.
It is if he chooses to act out his homosexual impulses.
It's not fair to the other kids.
We want what's best for Eric. A more conducive environment for his particular lifestyle.
I guess you're right. He certainly deserves much better.
We're sorry.
Yes. I'll let Eric know how sorry you are.
It's open.
Hi.
Hey. How was dinner?
Halfway through the hors d'oeuvres, I remembered why I don't have dinner with Jody anymore. She's really boring.
Oh.
And then I remembered why I fell in love with an artist in the first place.
Well, because I'm not boring.
Don't make it sound so unromantic. And then I drove around for a while and I thought about us. And I realized that a lot of our problems are really... A lot of it is really my problem.
Really? What problem is that?
Your whole family thing? I mean, whether it's weird or enmeshed or a paragon of family mental health, I'm jealous of it. I mean, you met my parents. I wish I liked them enough to be too close to them, but they make me wish I'd been raised by wolves. And the Donna thing, I blew a gasket about her supporting you because, and this is not noble, okay? I'm not proud to admit this, but I realized I was angry because I have never had anyone to support me. My parents, they didn't even help put me through college because they didn't approve of my impractical major. And yet I've given money to all my more practical siblings because they're drowning in debt, and yet they're still considered the successes. I am so tired of being strong.
Carol, I love your strength.
I know you do. Everybody does. Everybody loves strong people because they never ask for anything. But that doesn't mean that they don't need anything.
What do you need right now?
I need to be a mess.
Go for it.
Later, probably some chocolate wouldn't hurt.
Someday, when I'm a famous novelist, I'm gonna pay for all your chocolate.
Because battered women hiding from their husbands don't need publicity. Fred, I'm going to call you back.
I was in the neighborhood.
Really?
Well, I was after the taxi dropped me off. Before that, I was driving out to the airport with Charles.
He's gone?
Yeah, he made his decision. He doesn't want the job. He likes living in South Carolina, and he likes his law firm.
Are those the only reasons?
Who knows?
Jared? We don't like each other. Charles and I.
I'm aware of that.
And I don't think that time is going to cure that. And frankly, I don't think it's my fault. And even more frankly, I'm not sure how you and I can have a serious relationship when I think your son is a jerk.
Maxine, people our age come with baggage. I mean, everybody comes with baggage, but when you're in your 20s, you know it's just an ugly beanbag chair, a pile of student loans. But people our age, we come with some serious stuff. Yeah? I come with Charles. And I know he's not everybody's cup of tea.
Meaning people who are sticklers for little things like, say, being treated decently.
I've always had a soft spot for him because he's always been kind of, well, I don't even, socially awkward. Just the opposite of the other two kids. I mean, they're charmers. Got that from me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Charles used to talk to me about it. He said he always thought that other people had some kind of a handbook that he didn't get. Always a struggle for him to deal with people. I felt he needed someone on his side. And that someone became me. You don't have to like Charles. You don't even have to pretend to like Charles. You don't have to be in the same room with him ever again. But just don't hold him against me.
Frankly, this has been a very depressing case. The petitioners have not succeeded in convincing me that the child would suffer harm if kept from her grandfather in the remaining months of his life. In fact, from what I've observed, I think the child is much more likely to suffer harm if thrown into this mess. It seems everyone involved here is obsessed with finger-pointing, and no one is interested in forgiveness or repentance. So, I am denying the petitioner's request for visitation rights. Next case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're right about one thing, Your Honor. She's not a bit interested in forgiveness.
That's my stuff.
Yes, it is.
Where am I gonna live now?
That's how you and I are going to spend today.
I'm changing schools. See ya. I knew this was gonna happen.
I didn't. I thought the Crofts were wonderful people.
They are. They're the best people I ever met. They liked me. They liked me.
Eric, you are one of the stories I tell people when they ask why I do this job. I tell about a boy so undernourished that he was blind for a year. You've overcome so much with so little help. 2 years ago, you couldn't even read. Look at you now, top of your class.
So, everybody hates fags.
Everybody does not hate fags. We are going to go and find you the most wonderful foster home. And you know what? If we don't, you can come and live with me at my house.
Really?
Shame on the Crofts. Shame on them. I would be proud to have you in my house. On one condition.
What?
You stop using that word fag. I hate that word. Except when one gay person uses it with another, and then it's funny. I don't know why. Put your belt on.
Performing her original composition entitled Peace. Next is Lauren Cassidy singing Something Good.
If I had coached Lauren, she would have been singing the Yodel song.
Amy, she's...
And
does Katie even show her face? Amy, she's fine.
No, it's my fault. I should have let her lip sync. I mean, it's really the school's fault. This whole thing is stupid.
Excuse me. I'm sure this little girl worked very hard on her act.
On this?
Her mother could be sitting anywhere around here.
I am her mother.
Oh.
I've never seen either one of them before.
not gonna say to her.
You're going to say, darling, you were wonderful. But she wasn't wonderful. You're allowed to lie to children about things like this, Amy. It's in the Bible.
But don't you think that's part of the problem with kids today? You know, it's politically correct to tell them that everything they do is brilliant, even when it's not. We validate them when they don't deserve validation, and then it doesn't mean anything when they do. Don't you think it makes them grow up with all sorts of entitlement issues?
No, I don't.
Well, at least I could always count on you to tell me the truth.
Amy, do you remember in the 9th grade when you wore those flesh-colored leotards and danced to Lady Godiva in the middle school talent show?
Yes.
No matter what I said at the time, you weren't wonderful.
Okay, I will think of something diplomatic to say, but I am not gonna lie.
Mommy, Grandma!
Hey! Hi, sweetie.
How was I?
Well, sweetie, you were... brilliant.
Really?
Absolutely. You were the best thing in the show.
Why don't we get ice cream to celebrate?
Okay, I'll go get my stuff.
Was I ever wonderful when you told me I was wonderful?
Once or twice.
Once or twice? When?
Just now.
Okay, that was one. When is the second one?
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, an old case comes back to haunt Amy. All the drama of judging Amy is next on TNT.
Why?
I have to get home to Lauren. I want to be there for her when she gets up.
What time does she get up?
6:45.
I have an alarm clock. We'll set it for 6 o'clock. You'll be out of here by 6:15. She'll never know the difference. Come on, you're tired. And it's cold out there. Let me keep you warm.
It's not that cold.
Oh, it's cold enough.
Rob, I can't.
Why? What are you, a vampire? Something will happen if the sunrise catches you in my bed?
Yeah, something might. You never know.
Let's find out.
I don't want to overstay my welcome.
You couldn't if you tried.
This is casual. Remember?
I remember.
Well, it is kind of chilly out there.
Much too chilly.
The practical thing would be to stay.
Way practical.
Nothing very significant in that.
Not a drop.
As long as it's casual.
Good morning.
Is Lauren up yet?
Not yet.
Well, good. Good. I have to go upstairs and change. You know, Mom, I am a grown-up, so I am allowed to spend the night out from time to time.
I didn't say anything.
Well, you don't have to. I know what you're thinking.
You do?
You don't like my having a casual relationship with Rob. You disapprove. It's not the kind of thing your generation did. Yeah, I understand all that, but times have changed.
No.
No?
No, that's not what I was thinking.
Oh.
Amy, is there some reason that you need me to approve of this relationship?
See, I knew you were thinking about this.
Is there?
Of course not.
Then why defend what hasn't been attacked?
I have to change.
My generation did this sort of thing on the weekend.
See, I knew you'd have a problem with this.
Look at this. See, I have these different colored dots. I'm supposed to put them on the cartons so that they end up in the right place. See? Yellow for kitchen, blue for bedroom.
When are the movers coming?
Day after tomorrow. But Winnie doesn't have to be out till the 31st. That gives her plenty of time to wrap up loose ends.
Yeah, 2 whole weeks.
Oh, and she found this really cute little place right down the street.
Comes with a roommate and a cat.
I told your sister she could take whichever bedroom furniture she wants. You know, the condo has 2 bedrooms, but I think I'm going to make one of them my sewing room.
That's great, Mom.
And I am not going to take this dining room table.
Well, we don't need anything furniture-wise, so Winnie can have it all if she wants it.
Mom, I told you, if you're not going to take everything with you, I mean, you should just have a garage sale, you know, and then use the money for something you really need.
Winnie, that's too much trouble.
I have to go, so Mom, you know where to reach me?
Yes. Hey, kiddo. After school, we're just gonna lounge around and watch cartoons.
You'll be watching alone. Rebecca has to finish reading Runaway Ralph. She has a book report due tomorrow. Bye, baby. Bye, Mom. Winnie?
He's late. His first day. He's late.
You talked to him on the phone. Maxine, how committed did he sound?
Committed. Probably just hit some bad traffic.
Well, let's get started without him because I have to get back to DCF.
Why don't we start with case reports?
All right, I told people what we were looking for, and these cases were referred to me from East Hartford PD. Okay, we have a child-on-child sex abuse with a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old who alleges his stepfather sexually abused him, a preschooler who's been followed by her music teacher, a molesting grandfather.
Wait a minute. Is that Roseland Preschool?
No, Green Day. Someone named Phil Nevins.
Oh, God.
You know him?
I am familiar with his work. This is Mr. Phil, the monster of Roseland. He molested 6 little girls last year. We were never able to bring charges against him. The state's attorney thought the victims were too young to be reliable witnesses.
Yeah, this is a 3-year-old. No witnesses, no physical evidence.
Well, of course. I can't believe this.
Why is this guy worse than the others?
Oh, he's the one that got away. I threw everything I had at him. And at the end of the day, nothing stuck. And here he is, a bald-faced nerd.
It's personal.
No, of course not. I've never even seen the man. Where is Green Day?
Can somebody help me with this? Ladies, sorry I'm late. I'm Jonathan Ashworth. I'm the new assistant state's attorney.
Mr. Ashworth,
Yeah.
I'm Maxine Gray, DCF. And this is Megan Chestnut, our consulting therapist. Dr. Fran Winston.
On side, medical.
Social worker.
Sarah Flitzman. Hi.
Detective Shelley Tran, Hartford PD. Hi.
Well, ladies, consider me your go-to guy. I'm here to get the bad guys and kick some butt. I don't know about you, but I expect to have some fun. Now, one of you gals want to tell me where I can put this?
Carl Wilner's an 8-year-old who's been missing school, and the school is convinced his parents are deliberately keeping their son out of class and have asked DCF to investigate. Okay, Mr. Redfield.
Your Honor, Carl Wilner is biologically male. However, his parents, Harry and Pam Wilner, are allowing this young boy to grow his hair long and have sent him to Roscoe Elementary School in a girl's uniform. This year, when Carl entered 2nd grade, his parents registered him under the name Sasha Wilner.
Sasha?
He prefers to be called Sasha.
Carl's appearance has created quite a disruption at school and has made him the victim of numerous attacks, both physical and verbal. After several fruitless conversations with the Wilners, the school finally contacted DCF out of concern for the child's safety and psychological well-being.
Your Honor, there have been no allegations that the Wilners have been abusive to their son. In fact, we maintain they are loving parents who've been trying to give an idiosyncratic child the chance to find himself.
Find himself in what way?
Carl has exhibited non-conforming gender behavior from the age of 2. After years of trying to resist these tendencies, the Wilners were counseled to support Carl in his search for gender identity.
You said we're talking about an 8-year-old?
Yes, Your Honor. It's our contention that Roscoe Elementary has been seriously remiss in its duty to protect Carl from harm while on school grounds. If there's been any psychological damage, it's been at the hands of his peers and some of his teachers.
What is the school supposed to do? Provide a personal bodyguard for the kid? As long as he's wearing a skirt and knee socks, he's a target.
The Wilners have felt it necessary to remove their son from school and keep him home for his own protection.
Thereby subjecting him to educational neglect since he's not being home tutored.
All right, well, I don't see a need for a change of custody at this point. However, I am going to order a psychological evaluation for the whole family, and we'll continue this hearing when the evaluation is completed.
Really get the spider right. Itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. That was great, you guys. What should we sing next? Alrighty, Samantha, come here. Oh. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish and swish. Can I help you?
Phil Nevins?
Yes. Sweet.
Mr. Nevins, I've spent the last year following your career.
My career?
I'm with the Department of Children and Families.
You'll have to leave now. You've no right to be here.
You're very clever targeting the littlest ones. The ones who can't defend themselves or stand up to you in court.
I've asked you once to leave, now I'm telling you to go. You're not supposed to be here.
I realize that you are a very sick and pathetic human being, Mr. Nevins. And I don't care. I don't care what I have to do. I'm not going to let you hurt another child. I promise you, never again.
Who the hell do you think you are? What gives you the right to make an accusation like that? Answer me. Who the hell are you?
Excuse me. I'm the director here. May I help you?
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm with DCF. I brought you some new neglect abuse forms and the revised summary of the reporting laws.
Oh, thank you. Usually we get these through the mail.
Yes, well, we ran short of stamps today. If you'll excuse me. Laundry day?
Comes around. Your daughter says goodbye. Try to keep it together for another day.
How's it going, Mr. Mom?
It's not bad. I usually get about an hour or so of writing done a day. In between playing, eating, hysterical crying jags, napping. It's not even taking Ariadne's schedule into account.
Hello, Vincent. Goodbye, Amy. I can't take Lauren to karate today.
Okay. Bye, Mom. Do you see that attitude?
What attitude?
That judgmental attitude. Mom totally disapproves of my relationship with Rob.
Oh, why? Because he's a good 15 years younger than you are?
You're in on this too?
Amy, you have every right to be seen in public on the arm of someone who no one else can figure out what the hell you're doing with.
Is that supposed to be a statement of support?
Just know that that's what you're doing, and don't get all revisionist.
Meaning what?
Meaning I've seen you try to retrofit boyfriends before. This place is a lot more interesting than the fluff and fold.
It's 11 years, okay?
I suppose I just wanted to get a look at him. I wanted to put a face. It was a mistake going there. I don't like mistakes.
You wanted to see. That's not a mistake. If you made me that crazy, I don't want to see too.
I'm not crazy. Not yet, anyway.
If you're certain about this guy,
I am certain.
well, in that case, there are steps that could be taken.
I've taken every step there is, every process and protocol and procedure.
Well, maybe you have and maybe you haven't. Look, I'm just saying there are things we could do to make sure he was in harm's way.
Shelley, you have no idea how much I want Phil Nevins off the street. But I won't do anything that could call into question what we're doing here.
I thought one of the things we were supposed to be doing is helping people maneuver through the system.
Maneuver, not circumvent.
It's all in the shading.
No, it is not.
I guess it's a cop thing. Occupational hazard.
Gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder can be described as an aversion toward the physical and social characteristics of one's biological sex and a corresponding affinity for those of the opposite sex. This would include the desire to wear the clothing of the opposite sex, participate in the games and pastimes of the other sex, and in some cases, an expressed desire or insistence that he or she is the other sex. He's an 8-year-old boy. Does he even know there's an opposite sex? What would be the male equivalent of a tomboy?
RuPaul.
I'm serious. It would be what? A sissy.
Not a real equivalent. Sissies are ostracized, tomboys are encouraged. The rules are a lot looser for girls. Goals, measures of success, completely different calibration. Girls get away with murder.
So how's your sister doing?
Fine.
Right.
Angie first came to DCF's attention 2 years ago when she disclosed to a Sunday school teacher that her mother's boyfriend, Ricky, had fondled her.
Once? Twice?
She was 5 at the time. It was hard to get a clear story.
Medical evidence?
No. We investigated, but by then the boyfriend had moved out of the house and we didn't feel we had much of a case, so it didn't go anywhere.
Did the mom tell you that he moved out, or do you know for a fact that he moved out?
Mom said they broke up, and I went by the house once and there was no sign he lived there, so...
So you moved on?
I had 30 other cases.
Sure. Right.
Ricky is apparently back on the scene, and...
And Angie has disclosed to a friend's parent that Ricky occasionally takes showers with her. The police took an initial report, and I'm going out tomorrow.
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want you interviewing her unless I'm there.
What I'm most concerned about is this. Do I pull Angie out of the house or not? The mom swears the relationship with Ricky is over.
Yeah, but that's what she said last time, and now the kid's become his shower buddy.
Jonathan, I want to hear what Sarah has to say.
How much do we need to hear? DCF dropped the ball. This time, let's not screw it up. Just get the kid out of the house, then nail the boyfriend.
My concern is that she's an emotionally dependent child who would not do well in foster care, especially if we're going to want her to testify.
Just get her out of the house.
Jonathan, this is a team meeting. The purpose being to strategize about the child, her family, and the psychological consequences of the case.
I'm just trying to get a little momentum going here, that's all. You're the experts. I just wish someone had been a pro and done it right the first time. It'd make my job a lot easier.
We started worrying about Carl when he wanted to be Cinderella for Halloween when he was 4. It took us till Thanksgiving to talk him out of the costume. We're just trying to let him be the person he wants to be. Isn't that what you're supposed to do as parents?
If Carl had said he was a vampire, would you have let him wear a Dracula costume to school every day?
Listen, I'm not happy about this. You know, we tried to encourage more male behavior, but what if we were wrong? What if we were forcing him into something that just isn't right? I mean, he was miserable when we wouldn't let him dress up.
Well, Mr. Wilner, weren't you concerned that Carl would be victimized if he showed up at school dressed as a girl?
Of course we were. But it's what he wanted so much. What, I'm supposed to tell him I won't love him if he doesn't wear pants? My own father won't talk to me because of this. He has some pretty strict ideas about what a man's supposed to be and what a father's supposed to do. That's him. That's the kind of dad he was.
Aside from outward appearances, do you notice any change in your son since you allowed him to dress as he wishes?
He's laughing. Whatever the hell else is going on, at least I hear him laugh again.
Hey.
Hello.
You're just in time. I need a hand. Could you hang this on the wall for me? There's already a nail in the wall.
Oh, of course. How's that?
It looks a little crooked.
Jonathan, I was hoping we could talk for a moment about this project and what we hope it can be.
Sure.
First, I sense great enthusiasm from you.
Nobody else wanted the job.
Ah,
See, they'd hear it was you on the phone, and people started diving under their desks like it was an air raid. I figured any job that was so universally despised had to be an opportunity, and I was right. So I get to be tough on crime and look compassionate at the same time.
you have a lot of spunk, Jonathan, and we can use that here. But we have to remember that some of the people we're trying to help have had bad experiences with official government. We're trying to reduce that friction, move things along smoothly.
I hear you. That's what I love about what we're doing here. The streamlining. It lets us make this beautiful end run around the ACLU. What are they gonna say? We're helping sexually abused kids. We're liberal proof.
I'm a little surprised by your take on this, Jonathan.
Hey, I'm the one who's surprised. If anybody else had come up with this vertical integration scam, the political correctness people would be all over it. But coming from you, boy. Well, I guess that's like what they say. Only Nixon could go to China.
Autobiography and John Cheever's last novel and a little bit of Flannery O'Connor.
Oh, I don't really read much fiction.
Oh, well, you'd love this Cheever. It's only 100 pages long. I'll get it for you.
Sure. I'd like that.
Oh, great.
Amy.
Ma, this isn't high school.
Then why are you still living in my house?
Well, Lauren's not even here, so, what's your problem with my seeing Rob tonight?
Amy, has it ever occurred to you that I might be sitting here doing something other than monitoring your comings and goings?
You're not?
I wish I could get it through your otherwise reasonable skull that I am not the one obsessing about you and Rob. You are.
So how's it going? Sanctuary House.
I'm beginning to understand why these people were kept in separate buildings.
Why?
Because doctors and the police and lawyers don't really like each other. They get along like cats and dogs. More cats.
Mom, I know you want this to work, but I think you might want to be a little careful.
About what?
Well, I'm looking at this as a judge. You might have some civil liberties questions around privacy issues and sharing information among agencies.
Now is a bad time to point that out to me.
Well, when was I supposed to talk to you about it? We've been clocking a good 30 seconds every day, passing each other, coming and going. If you'd wanted my perspective on this,
You would have penciled me in. Thank you very much.
No, I'm just saying there would have been an opportunity.
There would have been an opportunity if you weren't sneaking out of here every night in search of your second adolescence.
Wow. Are we having one fight here or two?
I am not fighting. I'm going to bed. You do not follow me at this time.
Thanks for talking to me today, Sasha.
You're very welcome, ma'am. I didn't know they had girl judges.
Yeah, yep, they do. And I am one.
I like your hair.
Thanks. Thanks. I like yours.
I want it longer so my mom can teach me to French braid it.
And your clothes are very pretty.
This is my best school uniform.
Now the other boys, they wear a different uniform to school, right?
Oh, I'm not a boy anymore. I'm a girl.
Oh, really?
I think there was a mistake somewhere. Things like that happen.
What kind of mistake?
I didn't like it, the whole boy thing. Mostly I hated the clothes. I like girls' clothes. I used to have to steal them, and I know it's wrong, and I'm sorry I did that. And I had to hide them and only wear them when no one was around. But now I don't have to hide them. They're there in my closet, and I can wear them anytime I want.
And what about your old boy clothes?
They're in boxes in case I ever want them, but I don't think I ever will. Girls' clothes are better. Don't you think they're better?
What do you think would happen if you put on your old boy clothes, Sasha?
Well, I guess I'd be a boy again, but I'd much rather be a girl. It's better. You wouldn't want to be a boy. Believe me, I know.
How do you think I feel? He compared me to Richard Nixon. Favorably.
So you think he has political aspirations?
I think he's in there writing his speech for Bob Jones University.
We have to get rid of him.
Why? Because you don't like his politics?
Franny's an assistant state's attorney. I can't just change him like a light bulb.
He said no one else wanted the job.
Well, he's the wrong guy for us. His attitude is wrong. His tactics are wrong. His motives are wrong. Someone who walks in here and sees that big flag of his, they'll think it's a police station. No offense.
None taken.
And that simply wasn't the idea. This was supposed to be a safe place to help kids, not a place to build careers. He doesn't care.
And that disqualifies him.
It makes it impossible to work with him.
If you say so.
You're going to have to do something about him.
I am?
I can't work with him.
Can't or won't?
You get the same result. Either way.
She fell asleep at 8.
Where's Mom?
She went to bed after the news. How's class?
Okay. What's all this?
Stuff from the china cabinet. Mom doesn't want any of it.
Wow, Dad's 1956 high school track medal. What? Are you taking this?
Yeah. You want it?
Yeah.
Then you should take it.
Do you remember this? He bought this for our trip to Sarasota.
Why don't you take it all?
I don't want it all. I'm just possibly suggesting that we talk about it before it gets packed up, that's
Hey,
all.
you know what? Whatever. Why don't you and Mom discuss it and decide what you want me to have?
Winnie, what's the problem?
I don't have a problem, Bruce. I'm used to this, okay? You and Mom figure everything out, and I'll just trail along behind you waiting for my instructions.
Winnie? She is moving in 2 days. It's happening. Nothing is going to change that now.
I know.
How about dealing with it like an adult? You're 30 years old, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and still getting the leftovers.
What?
There's the face. It's the innocent face, like you just have no idea what I'm talking about.
It looks like that because I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
It's about me getting shortchanged, Bruce. Or did you just think you were entitled to the big room, and I deserve the little one?
Winnie, please, the big room, the little room?
Okay, maybe it was natural selection that put you in private school and sent me to public.
You went to Arts Magnet, where you probably had a lot more fun painting pictures than I did dealing with Sister Rita Bernard.
And how supportive do you think Mom would have been of me if I'd come home with a baby and no husband?
Winnie, don't you have more important things in your life to worry about than keeping score from 20 years ago?
I've had a lot of practice, Bruce, because the game's been rigged for 20 years.
Oh, how do you figure it's been rigged?
Well, how else do I end up with a roommate and a cat?
Maxine! You must be psychic. We were just coming looking for you. Hey, I think I figured out a way to get you Mr. Phil.
Oh?
Shelley was telling me what a burr in your saddle this guy is, so I started thinking, these creeps don't get their kicks one way. Odds are he's on the internet. Now, I've got a drinking buddy. He works sex crimes down at the BFI. You see where I'm going with this?
I'm not certain.
If Mr. Phil is looking for action in a chat room, I can whip up probable cause. We can seize his hard drive. Maybe even find something to link him to the Roseland kids. But one bad picture, and bam, he's a registered sex offender. So what do you think? Not bad for a guy who just rolled through the door?
Very impressive, Jonathan.
Oh, I understand. You don't want to get your hopes up. Well, it smells good to me. I'm gonna call my pal at the bureau. Thanks, Shelley.
Don't mention it.
Maxine, hold up. I need you to talk to this guy. You'll like him.
Shelley?
Fran's a good doctor, but she's got to work on her people skills.
Before I let this proceed.
Let it proceed? You heard him. He's like a kid in a candy store.
Before I let this proceed, one question. If he gets a warrant and finds something on Phil Nevin's computer, how will it have gotten there?
It will have gotten there through the folly and arrogance of mortal man.
Hey, so good job today, guys, okay?
See you later.
Good job?
Bye.
Good job? You ready? Amy.
Hi.
Hey, did I forget something?
No. I just had a minute, so thought I'd stop by.
Amy, this is Judy Kepler. Judy, this is Amy Gray, Lauren's mom.
Oh, hi. Yeah, Lauren's great.
Yeah, I think so too.
Judy's a new instructor.
Oh, great. Great.
We're gonna go get some coffee. Do you wanna come along?
No. Thanks. No.
If it's private, I can take a hike.
Private?
About Lauren?
Oh, no. Oh, no, it's no big deal. I just was, around the corner.
So I'll see you later on.
Absolutely.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
Later?
Later.
Hey.
Hi. I brought you a book. You probably already have it.
Oh, what a paradise it seems.
Yeah, I was gonna give it to someone. No, I don't think I will.
Why not? It's a great book. It's the last thing Cheever wrote. Last things are special.
Is John Cheever still in fashion? I mean, do people read him anymore?
Oh, really good stuff. Never goes out of style. Who are you going to give this to?
I was gonna give it to Rob.
But you changed your mind.
Yeah.
Why?
Because if I gave it to him, he'd feel obliged to read it and then tell me what he thought and maybe pretend to like it when he didn't, and suddenly a night of wild abandon is interrupted by a book report.
How's that going, the wild abandon part?
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, evidence to the contrary, you can't ignore Mom. It is possible to turn off her voice in your head. Unless, of course, it's starting to reverberate with some of your own thoughts.
He's got a bookcase in his apartment. An empty bookcase. I don't understand it. How can you be an adult and have an empty bookcase? The other day, Mr. Wilner was asked, what if his son had come to him and said he was a vampire? would he have indulged him? Well, I believe if Carl Wilner had decided to be a vampire or a tiger or a dump truck, we wouldn't be here today. Gender is so much at the core of our identity that as soon as someone even hints they might want to switch teams, we take it pretty seriously. Of course, we are talking about an 8-year-old. Now, maybe Sasha is transgender. Maybe he thinks that his mother or his grandmother or the Powerpuff Girls represent good qualities that he wants in his personality. Or maybe he just likes girls' clothes. At this point, we can't know that any more than his child can. It's just too soon. Now, I am convinced that Mr. and Mrs. Wilner are loving, caring parents, but this issue of gender has disturbed them as much as it has the rest of us. So, Mr. and Mrs. Wilner, I want you to begin counseling along with your child as you move through this period. And I want Carl back in school in the most non-disruptive way possible. Sasha.
Yes, ma'am?
I want to ask you to do something that's going to make things a lot easier for you and your parents.
What?
You have such a great imagination that I want you to pretend to be a boy when you're at school.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that when you're at home, you can be whoever you want to be. But for a few hours every day, I'd like you to wear some of your old clothes and pretend to be a boy. Just while you're at school.
Do I have to cut my hair?
No. No, you don't. And I will do whatever I can to make sure that you don't have any trouble at school. And if there are no more unexcused absences in the next 3 months, then DCF will withdraw its petition. Is that correct, Mr. Redfield?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's all right with you, Sasha?
I'll give it a try.
Well, thank you.
Is Grandma there yet?
No, baby. She just left an hour ago.
When can we visit her?
Maybe when school's finished. Why don't you go get your stuff? We're going home.
Okay.
So, you planning on ever talking to me again?
I don't know what you mean.
What I mean is you haven't said a word since you got on the plane.
I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
What do you want me to do, Winnie? Apologize? For what? For figuring out what I want to do and doing something about it? I'm not going to. Not even for you. And I'd do just about anything for you.
I bet you think that's true.
What did you want me to do? March onto the plane and drag Mama off before she got her little bag of mixed nuts? I would have done that. You know I would have. But you're not completely sure that's what you really want, is it?
I'm not finished. I can still make something happen. I can still figure out what I'm supposed to do. And I wanted her to see that. I didn't want her to go thinking I'm a failure. I wanted Mom to see me get it right. And now she's going.
Winnie, we put her on a plane, not in the ground.
You know what I mean.
Not all the time. Our mother is moving to Vegas. We got...
Call me.
Sure. What's wrong?
You kissed me in front of that girl, Judy.
And you're embarrassed.
No, I mean, not really by the kiss.
By what?
By giving you books you don't want to read. By making you listen to music that means nothing to you. By trying to build a supportable defense for all of this.
Who says it needs defending?
Me.
Amy, I've been trying to play this thing the way you want. But you keep changing the rules.
I thought the point was we didn't have any rules.
Then you're not paying attention. Because there are a lot of them. And you're the one who's been setting them. Look, I don't know anyone like you. I've never had anyone I've had to work so hard to keep up with. And I work really hard, in case you haven't noticed. There's a lot more going on for you here than you're ready to acknowledge, and that's a problem. For you, not for me.
I gotta go.
Just remember, you broke up with me once. And this thing, right here now, this is the second chance. If you understand what I'm saying.
I think I do.
Well, don't think too much.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, the drama explodes when a police commissioner is linked to 2 murders. Don't miss the drama of Law and Order. Next